wait to farm up.
Ceremony with all of you. Thank you so much for joining me for that one. Being on that adventure with me. Right. Okay, and we are tending the earth. 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 We're spiraling. We're planting seeds. We're spiraling. We're planting seeds. We are tending to the earth. We are tending to the earth. We are tending the earth. We are tending the earth. We are spiraling. We are planting seeds.
Just go through it, you know what I'm saying?
We are spiraling. We are planting seeds. We are tending the earth. We are tending the earth. We are tending the earth. That's fun. We are tending the earth. Ow, 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 ow! Yeah! So, the ceremony has not ended yet, friends. We've got a few more things in store, but water break, take care of yourself. But we got like 5 minutes, and we need to keep the sacred container
Farm
going.
up.
Yeah.
We're down here at the One Earth Collaborative. It's all right, everybody, chill out. It's cool. It's cool. You know, we got peanut butter and stuff. It's cool if you need to, you know, check things out. We got dandelions, you know, even though the price of everything keeps going up, somehow they seem to stay the same price. Unless you're getting them from Poland or something in like a specialized pulverized package. But yeah, down here at One Earth, like, this is amazing. I'm feeling so delighted to be collaborating with you guys here on this land.
Likewise.
I've been down here for the day. You guys have had an amazing event, Tending the Earth.
Yes,
You want
sir.
to share a little bit, introduce the event to the audience that's tuning in here now?
Oh boy, yeah, tending the earth. It's man, you know, it's a baby of many different efforts and organizations and people throughout the years. That started with Lindsay doing her herbal tonic bars at different places, and eventually coming with the land and it's been a culmination of community gardening essentially, and a big old garden party to get people hyped up to get out to gardens, and hopefully, you know, get them coming back around or starting their own gardens, and the music has been a big part of that, and of course the gardening.
Yeah, I'm all about, you know, people connecting to nature in different ways. I think I felt funny here being like one of the only guys walking around with shoes on, but I don't know, it's like just like I got here a little bit later, so I'm still getting familiar with the ground.
Right,
like when you
right.
know a piece of land, you know, I don't know, my shoes pop off a little bit quicker, but when I'm moving around,
Sure.
I've had a lot of damage to these things in my young Wook years. When I was a young Wook walking around, like I stepped on tents and all kinds of things. I stepped on like chunks of houses, and you know, there's a lot of, I got a broken toe actually from breakdancing once without shoes on. Sometimes when you do a little pop and lock and then you spin around in the air and land on your toe on concrete, it hurts, you know. It doesn't matter how much cardboard there it is, but you know, being able to move around without your shoes on. This whole event's been really cool too, watching how you guys care. We were just talking about it at the event here about how there's a lot of focus around the children and stuff, and that's
Yeah,
just,
for sure.
you know, these guys are coming up here wanting to share stuff, but you know, we might be able to pick up some of those kinds of sounds without having to get a written agreement from like parents and all the
Sure.
different things, you know. It's like, you know, we got to watch out for that kind of thing. It's a modern world, you know, people, who knows. But we're waking the farm up down here.
Yes, sir.
This place is definitely awake. There's just like let's give like our audio listeners a little description. We got all kinds of different little structures around here.
Yeah, so we got like 10 or 12 acres around here, right on the Little Miami River, and kind of it's kind of a rectangle, and the eastern half is the woods along the river, and kind of the western half is a big field, and we've got. It's set up for a hip camp in the forest and out in the field, kind of out in the center. We've got this beautiful circular garden with different vegetables growing. And to the north, we've got a couple of flower spirals that one just got planted today. To the south, we planted a very brand new children's garden, digging pit in the middle. Amazing. It wouldn't have been possible without all the hands that came out, and that's a bit of the part of tending the earth, is getting people out here to help launch these sorts of things. And we've got like a circus tent with streamers flowing around. We've got a Unity wagon. It's like a modern day cover wagon that's decked out with the coolest little trinkets and things, and kind of a kids area in this bell tent. And we've got an outdoor kitchen. We've got this beautiful pallet stage where all this music's been happening. And it's been a beautiful time, man. Yeah.
Yeah, and I see you got a bow. Like you're wearing a bow, like you're ready to make a bow and arrow kind of move at any time. Is there? Can you share with us anything about that? Is that an instrument you're using? Or?
It is an instrument of sorts, and it's an instrument of creation. I've got this idea that we can empower the youth. With crayons and shovels and life skills to go out into the world, and kind of reconstruct what human life looks like. And this is this little bow is kind of an ode to the playfulness of a child, and kind of the symbology around protection and prosperity and those sorts of things.
Yeah. For our audio listeners, he's wearing a bow, like a bow and arrow. Or a baronera, how his kids would say it, a baronera.
Baronera.
So, like, I don't know, maybe it's like the new style of a baron. He's like some kind of land baron here, and he's bearing his Aaron. And it's not a bow like a bow tie that squirts water or something. Nope. It's like, it's a real bow. You can use it to start a fire, or I don't know. It looks beautiful on you as an accessory, really.
Thank you. Yeah.
I like accessories.
Accessorizing, yeah. It's great, yeah. We've accessorized the stage with all these, and a lot of the land with these beautiful streamers from Circus of Purpose. They've been a huge help. So if y'all...
Circus of Purpose?
Yeah, thank y'all so much. They came out and... They crushed it with helping us set up out in the land here. Like, it's been amazing to have them out here. Brought such a vibe and such help.
Yeah. I hope we get some Circus of Purpose people up on the microphone here to share a little bit about their purpose. Purpose is one of these wake the farm up words. It's like finding our purpose, following our passions. I mean, it just makes sense to like mix that in when you're waking a farm up, when you're waking up with the land and the land's waking you up, to figure out what the purpose of that is. I don't know. What's your purpose? What do you find the purpose of connecting with nature and planting gardens with other people? Like, what's the purpose of that?
There's a couple words that just come to mind. Things like hope, vitality.
Vital.
Vital. Yeah, vital. And I looked up the etymology of that word, and because I was looking for a word that meant something like humanity, bringing humanity back into the school system, say, but I was like, humanity, I want all of life, and interestingly enough, they share a similar etymology of or belonging to humans, or of and belonging to life. So I thought that was an interesting way to think about vitality.
Bring the vitals in.
Yeah, but of course there's practical things that we're doing here, providing food and feeding ourselves, and rearing the youth. More practical.
I love that there's a circus here. I mean, bringing circus and gardens together. I mean, it makes two things that are already fun that much more fun. I mean, how many of you guys are about ready to run away with the garden circus? I mean, let's go. There's buses here that are parked ready to go, and there's a lot of land out there. that needs little spirals on it.
Yeah. That's definitely been part of the dreams, and I definitely want to, shout out Marielle for, at least she's the first person that I heard this sort of vision of getting people out to land to build bigger gardens and just go all over the place. I know there's other people. It's more of like a personal shout out for inspiring me, and of course Ethan has been like a huge piece of doing it here on this land. And
we like them. Yeah, we like Marielle and the flowers. She sang with us. She's one of our favorite because she knows how to get down with the elves. Yeah, and this Ethan guy, I can't wait to catch up with him on this show. The elves are going crazy over this guy.
Wow. Okay. Thanks, elves. Yeah, they'll pop in here once in a while. Some of you guys know that, but they're everywhere, ready to say stuff to us. These elves. I really think, like, to go back on the humanity topic, I've been really thinking about that concept of humanity and how it has to do with our connection to the earth. And there's a lot there. It's like if we're totally disconnected from our natural way of being, I feel like maybe in this world that we're in, that like that last thing to go in our connection with nature would be our connection to other humans. I don't know. It's like, it kind of makes sense because there is like this natural connection between people, just like there's a natural connection between robins, they communicate with each other in their little songs and then they go and do their robin things. But I don't know, there's something there to it. And it's like, what other connections? Like if we're able to communicate with each other, how far can we really connect and keep deeply connecting with the earth, communicating with the flowers, communicating with the birds, all the things.
Yeah.
It's alive.
Yeah. I think they go hand in hand, of course,
Vital.
It's vital. In order to have kind of that humanity, we need that connection to nature. At least, the way I kind of see things is we need that immersive nature experience in order to find our, true version of ourselves that we're connecting on deeper levels with.
So Brandon and I been maintaining ground. That's why I like to call it, when you keep up with people over time and really in a natural way, we connect and see each other. It's not always like, hey, let's plan on Tuesday at 3:00. No, it's more like, here we are again. Let's go play. And I just was curious earlier today as we were applying a biodynamic prep as a group together, walking around, singing. Good things always happen when you're walking in the forest and then like a bunch of fairies start singing. I definitely recommend following them every time. It's really good. But anyway, you were mentioning how when you were first growing in your connection to the land and even this land specifically, you had this feeling that you weren't sure if it liked you. I was so curious about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was more of like a personal times of just like in my own woes, being uncertain of whether I, would be welcome back at a place after, some of my own woes and troubles. And I mean, when I first stepped on land, it definitely felt like home, and kind of after a spell of, self-loathing, I suppose, coming back here and finding community once more with open arms. It's the reason I'm where I'm at today. It's the reason I'm breathing and living the way I am. So
nice. Yeah, the accessories you have too. I love how I can hear you coming up behind me. There's a little stomp for them. What kind of seeds are those?
I don't know.
Okay, copy that. They're beautiful sounding seeds.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd love to connect and share stories with you on this platform.
Sure.
Like for a long time. I know you've been talking a lot the last couple of days and sharing, holding space.
Yeah.
I want to respect that, and I want to try to get some of these other voices up in here too.
Definitely,
So
I'd love to hear from other folks.
I'm not shoving you off or hooking you off.
No,
but I might keep you on here longer.
Nobody shows up. Yeah.
Some of the you've been on this land here. We're in Oregonia, Ohio.
Yep.
And the One Earth, is this land called One Earth Collaborative, or it's got many names?
Yeah, right. It's like the One Earth Collaborative at the One Earth Sanctuary. Collaborative being like the group, sanctuary being the land.
Yeah.
That's the way I kind of think about it. Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
So.
One Earth.
Yeah.
It's what we get to live on.
Yeah. So how would you say that what's something that we could do this week to wake the farm up?
Oh my goodness. So Wake the Farm Up is out here trying to encourage and support things like this happening. And it looks like you guys are doing a wonderful job getting things going. Just imagine what these children will be doing with this land 20 years from now. Keep picturing that. I know we went around in a group circle, and one of the words that a lot of people brought from this was hope. And I just got to say, that's a Wake the Farm Up theme, is the Hope Stay Preppers. There's a lot of people that get into gardening and resourcefulness out of the doomsday prepper kind of concept, of fear that some certain scenario is going to happen where we won't have food brought to us from the other side of the planet anymore. It's why, I don't know, just have more hope and just create a better future so you don't have to worry about that. Mm-hmm. It's harder, I know.
Yeah.
It's a lot harder.
Hope is definitely, in my personal purpose wheelhouse. It's like Brandon, my name, at least when I looked it up in 4th grade, was a beacon of light on a hill. So hopefulness.
Let's go, beacon of light. Sorry, I had to. They like that one. Yeah.
Is there anybody else?
So what else have you been up to aside from the land here? I know you and I haven't caught up in real life in a bit, and I don't know, what else would you want to share with the Wake the Farm Up about from your real life zone?
Man,
I know this is your real life. I didn't mean to say it like that, but
yeah.
Just to be clear, the bigger outside of this land. Do you leave this land ever? Or do you live here?
I do. There's other places I go and. Yeah. Just breathing, trying to take one step at a time,
Yeah.
There's, those things going on and,
Yeah. Feeling away. This place is interesting too for audio listeners. We're along the Little Miami River. And along the river, there's currently some of the longest bike trails in our country that are interconnected, and you can ride through the forest into a lot of directions for miles on a bike or just walking. And that's, I don't know, definitely a notable nature connector for a lot of people. A lot of people like to connect in that kind of way of, tracking along on a bike or something.
Yeah, yep. That's a beautiful way to kind of connect with people. It is going, I think it goes from Cincinnati all the way up to Lake Erie.
Oh, okay.
So,
and there's got all the little branches that go out in different places.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I could have used some. I did use some of the trails years ago. I did a bike trip from Serpent Mound up to Maine. And, normally people would be like, oh, how long did it take you to get to Lake Erie? It took me 18 hours or something. It took me 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, right. Up on a bike.
No, do you want to interrupt?
I was told you'd love my new friend, the jumping spider.
Oh, I love jumping spiders.
He's really cute.
He's got something to say.
He's been giving pretty intense eye contact as Brandon steps away.
Hi, I'm a spider, and I jump. I like to jump. Where did I go?
That spider jumped right in and right on out of here. So, no, there's no interruption. It's a live show. I'm just recording it as it goes, and that'll be in it. And that's beautiful and fun. Even me saying this right now, it's like you can't go back in time when you're recording. It's just like you cut it up and say it how it is, and you got to roll with it. But I do know, if there's not, guests popping up, I do end up hitting the pause button until I get somebody that wants to share stuff. Because I've heard myself talk a bit some of the audience, might have heard me talk a bit here too. Oh, we got something fresh coming up here.
We're not going to make you hit the pause button. We're going to keep it rolling. We're going to keep that energy going. Shout out to Brandon and the energy he was sharing. Yeah, big ups to Brandon. Big ups to the movement. So we're here.
Yeah, so what's your name for the audio listener?
What do you want to say?
You got something? We're singing. This is we're gonna start singing whenever we want. People walk around here and then they start singing really amazing, beautiful songs, don't they? You're getting pretty used to that, huh?
You want to hear some singing though?
Yeah, we want to hear some singing.
Okay,
we love to hear some singing. Can you share us your name, your artist name, or like?
Yeah, bless. I go by Izzy Rafeke. There's a little explanation for that. We gonna articulate our words. My name is Izzy Olaore. I'm Nigerian, and Olaore means the wealth of friendship in my native tongue, which is Yoruba. Olaore. Yeah, that's really good. Olaore. So Ola is wealth and Ore is friend. So I go by Rafiki because in Swahili, Rafiki means friend. And so I say and I do my best to embody the art form of friendship. And I use that, and it can express itself, whether that's through music or through community or through the collection of both of those or wherever friendship finds me. So, yeah, that's me.
Rafiki.
Yes, sir.
And I know you can sing because we've been doing all these different little garden projects where we get to start singing. It's such a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. Oh, singing, I mean, especially doing that in the garden. So I'm pretty sure, even if we didn't do it intentionally, just because of the type of music, 432 hertz music is actually the best music for plants. That's the kind of music that encourages them to grow. And so being able to, sing around plants and being able to sing around them and bring this positive energy to the plants is actually one of the things that allows them to grow. And I'm a student of the soil. So that's why I found myself here, because I heard that there was a gardening party, and I'm all about gardening parties. Yeah. So you feel me? That's why I'm here. You feel me? You said wake the farm up?
Wake the farm up.
You already know. I heard some cool collectives going on here. I got to talk to some people about, I heard farming artists.
Oh, you gotta have farming.
That I was hoping that it was gonna make you look.
That's from the flower patch over here. We got Marielle and the flowers. The farming artist.
Shout out to Marielle, the farming artist. Love that. I just heard a few things about it, and obviously I'm already talking about it, so it must be pretty cool. But anyways,
yeah, you're about to start singing about it.
Was I?
You were
about that.
I don't know.
We'll see. Let the inspiration flow. What were you talking about though?
Flow.
You're talking about flow?
Flow. What's one who flows? A flower?
A flower?
A flower is spelled
flower.
like whoa.
A flower. I mean, if we're talking about flow and we're talking about flowers, I did study words growing up. And so just thinking about that concept, the flow, right? One thing I've learned about plants is that they grow in both directions, which is really cool, right? So plants are growing up and down at all times. Right?
It's a geotropism.
Okay, with the terminology. That's what I'm talking about.
You like words. I'm going to roll with you.
Geotropism. I learned a new one today. And so, when it comes to flow, the root system is what allows for the flow of the water, which transports the nutrients into the plants and also transports nutrients from the plants into the soil. So that's two directions of flow. And then if you think about photosynthesis, that's the flow of energy and the light that's coming in the chlorophyll that transforms it, right? Like
the best designed solar panel ever yet, the most efficient designed solar panel ever yet.
I've never thought of photosynthesis as a solar panel, but again,
look at that. Look at
I've
all
learned
these solar
two
panels.
new things today. Okay.
Look at all these solar panels out here.
So every leaf is a solar panel.
Collecting sunlight.
Let's go. Let's go.
So one thing I've been thinking about, maybe you have thoughts on this whole directional thing, is where is the brain of a plant? Where's the thinking body that gives it the direction of flow? Is it in the roots?
Definitely.
Is it like right at that spot where the root meets the little stem that shoots up? That's kind of what I'm feeling, because like it kind of all directs out from there. But
if you look at great question, by the way, shout out to you for intentionally thinking. I would say that the brain of a plant is definitely in its root bulb, because if you know about, like, for example, mushrooms and the mycelium network and just how they communicate with each other through the roots, you would, and then if you just look at the like a root bulb, like, and how detailed and intentional and how just amazingly complex of an organism is the root system, like that's where the brain is. And it kind of would look like, I'm saying, if you look at it, it kind of looks like our brain too, if you look at how a root looks, you know what I'm saying?
It's kind of wild, like thinking about it in like that way. It's like you're looking at trees and plants and they're all like doing headstands, like they're all upside down.
Yeah.
And there's more going on in the soil for them to do and to think about and move around, and information they're connecting with.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot in the air too, but
yeah. I've learned
their
so
feet
much
are
from the
sticking
soil.
up and their flowers are sticking out down there too, or up there.
Up there, yeah. Yeah, and it's all about perspective. It's like, I mean, our worlds, there's so much of our world that is like below our feet, right? Depth beyond measure, right? And so we got to just think about perspective. I know they were saying like as above, so below, like, and all that, interesting philosophy of thought, which I super celebrate. But, just thinking of it practically, like, as you're saying, like, again, perspective, just like when you travel to a place that you've never been to before and you get there and you realize of all these things that are happening around, and it's just like, it's such a big world. When you think about below us as a whole universe, soil profiles. If you just, let's just talk about soil profiles for a second. Like,
we're gonna do some profiling.
Well, I mean, soil profiles, because there's good soil, and good soil can be like, loamy soil, right? Soil that you can dig your hands into and hold in your hand. It can breathe and all that good stuff. But what makes soil different from just, I would say, sand, is that soil has a profile. It's a collaboration. It's a community. There's nutrients. There's nematodes. There's microorganisms. There's the best things ever, which is worms. I say those are the tenants of the soil. Shout out to worms.
Yeah, worms.
There's nothing that composts better than worms. I see some snaps over there. Okay, shout out to worms. And so
Worms are cool.
Oh yeah. Vermicomposting, y'all know about that? I got a nod over there. Okay.
You know what I mean, Verm?
So, a whole worm ceremony?
We did a whole
quick story about
we're
worms.
Here and there's a whole worm ceremony. Like,
missed it.
That's
Thanks
a whole
for the
extra
invite.
episode.
I'll be at the we'll be at the next one. Quick story about worms.
Yeah.
So I just got a few plots of gardening plots out the South Park Urban Gardens, because I'm on a tour to bring the party to as many gardens as possible. So you talked about farming artists. I have garden party. Same thing.
Garden party. That's like
100%.
That's one of your artist name kind of catch.
It's
phrases.
It's my offering to community.
I love it.
It's
Garden
just
party.
connecting communities
Let's
through
go.
gardening. So I could pull up and I'm a whole party by myself. So obviously we turn up, we get people excited about gardening, and things of that nature. But I was worried about my soil, because I'm like, okay, it's about to be planting season. We need to make sure we're on schedule. And when we talk about soil profiles, one of the main things is like, I need to get some worms. Like, I need some worms. Like, where am I going to get worms? All the time I'm driving, I'm at work, I'm just always thinking worms. Apparently we got some worm experts over there. Now, I just went to my garden with one of my friends who I realized is also a worm expert. They call their organization Glorified Dirt. And so they do everything soil, everything composting. So if y'all want, the plug, I got the plug for soil and compost. But we get to the soil, I'm like, what do I do? Is it ready for planting? They're like, you just got to turn it. Let's turn it. That's what we're going to do for the day. I'm like, okay. We start turning the soil. As we turn the soil, we discover the biggest worm I've seen in my life, in my own garden bed. I'm talking like a snake. Like, And I have a video on my social media. You should go watch, follow me on social media, Instagram, Rafeke, RA.FEKE. You can see Earth the Worm on my page, maybe. It was in my story.
Sounds like an anaconda worm.
Literally. And I have to be like, Earth the Worm is going to take care of my plot. That's the that's the landlord. That's not even the tenant. They're the landlord, for real, for real. So that was my story about worms.
Hey, I like it. There's always wiggle room for worm stories.
Wiggle room. This guy's good.
Let's do some wiggling. Wiggle it.
Y'all that are listening to this podcast later are not going to be able to see this cool wiggle that I'm doing, but maybe you can hear it in my voice.
Talk about breakdancing. He's doing the wiggle worm now.
So what brought you to the gardening community? Why are we talking about, the soil? How was your experience here?
Oh, I wish I could.
The earth.
This elf wishes that I could have been here from like the whole beginning and, to where we're at here. There's so many things in life that pull us in all these directions. And I'll be honest, I think I really got the download that this event was going on like 5 or 6 days ago or something. Right. And so I was happy that I had today free to be able to come down here. Lindsay from One Earth Collab.
Shout out to Lindsay.
She's been trying to connect me into doing some, recording with the amazing people that come together at this place for a while. So here's a good little starting run with it.
Yo, that is awesome. And like I learned about it through my friend that I met at Front Street Market named Kent. Shout out to Kent. Woo woo. Yeah. And he told me about it because I was telling him about garden party, and then he was like, "Hey, there's a gardening party this weekend." And I was like, I have to be there.
Yeah.
I wish I could have camped, but something popped up.
Okay, so you just popped up today too?
Yeah, I just got here.
We're both fresh in here.
I know.
That's why we had clean clothes.
I got a little bit lost, but I did not let that stop me. I said, I will make it here no matter what. And I did. And I got here just in time. Literally, when I walked up here, I just had my drum because I knew they were jamming. Avery was on the stage rocking it. And apparently, it was perfect timing because I just walked up here. They said, "It looks like you play the guitar, do you?" And I'm like, "I guess." And so they gave me the guitar and I played it. And it was a whole vibe.
Dang.
It was cool. I
was
like, shout out to being right on time.
Yeah, I missed that. I wasn't on time for that, but I'm here to hear. I'm excited about it now. It's amazing. There's this is my little thing. There's things that I might have learned when I was 7 that you didn't learn until you were 11. But there's some things that you might have learned when you were 5 that I won't learn while I'm alive. That's like
bars.
It's just
you heard that rhyme there. Don't just waltz past that as if you didn't just drop some cool lyrics on us. You know what I'm saying? I like that.
Hey, I'll do it again. So there's things, just to saturate, just to bring it into the neuron sequence. There's things that I learned when I was 7 that you might not have learned until you were 11. But there's things that you might have learned when you were 5 that I might not ever learn while I'm alive.
Boom.
That's an empathy builder. I don't know. You could say that too. You have empathy for not making it on time to see your playing the guitar up here.
Yeah, of course. Like I said, cheers to divine timing. One of the things that I've learned about time, which I learned from the soil and I was able to put into practice with this song Grow, which I sang with us, while we were planting the seeds. And I just released it. It's on streaming platforms right now. And in the process of this song, we shot a music video as well where, we pulled out all the stops. I got some connections and we're going, global with this one. And one of the things that we had to learn, shout out to One Earth. One of the things I had to learn was, I was like, what is it that we're doing differently when we follow the soil? I want to take notes and make sure that I can articulate what I've learned. So one of the things that I learned is that through our process, we gave ourselves time. Every time someone wasn't feeling well and we needed to meet and they were not available, I said, you know what? Let's not meet. We're going to give ourselves the time, even if it's 2 weeks later. We'll meet then, right? Because what I learned is that we have time in abundance. And when we can spend it without the fear of the insecurity that it's scarce, we can actually be wealthy. And as you see, time helps plants grow, right? When you give plants time, it works in its favor. When you try to do things to try to shortcut time, right? You're putting unhealthy growth hormones into the soil. What happens is they grow too fast, and then it's a bad harvest, right? So we need to understand that time is on our side, right? And that we are able to spend time, because time is money, right? So we get to spend time in abundance, right? We can spend it generously. I'm here, I'm talking to you. Maybe I should be, I don't know, thinking about how to make money at some point, I could be, boo, exactly. No, I should not be doing that, exactly.
Oh, we can make money.
Well, we can make money, though.
We can make that into money. Like, see
Thank
these
you.
butter weeds over here. Or
Now
there's
we
some
talking.
dandelion flower tops. Okay,
Now we're
dandelion flower tops are now top currency here.
Boom.
It's like,
Wait,
what?
first
what?
of all, have y'all played Farm Simulator? You should definitely play the game Farm Simulator. It's my favorite pastime. I have it. It's if you have a Netflix account, and this is no endorsement to Netflix or anything, but they have Netflix games. It's called FS23. It's a real life farm simulator. I have 3 plots. I'm currently growing some canola because that's what's selling really well right now. I'm trying to earn enough money to buy a forklift so I can get my chickens to move the eggs from my chicken coop over to the store, because I started with some chickens, but then I forgot I couldn't afford a forklift. So now my eggs are just sitting there until I can afford one.
Because you can't pick up your eggs
Well, because it costs
without a forklift.
$55,000 for a forklift.
And you can't pick up your eggs without a forklift?
Literally, that's the game. So you should download it because it teaches you all this stuff. Like, I felt right at home because I do this in the simulator all the time because it just teaches me how to farm.
Well, one interesting thing about soils, I know you were talking about soils. I think it's fascinating. There's studies out there. You can look it up about bass.
Let's go.
Music, bass. It goes into the soil, and the mushrooms in there, the mycorrhizae, can transfer the energy of what's coming through the bass. So, it's like you want to put some good bass in. It's like something, it's part of our human connection to the bigger earth, stomping on the ground. And it's not just stomping because it's fun. It's stomping because we're communicating.
Yeah. I want to call an audible and ask a question to Marielle
Marielle and the flowers.
So I think, this doesn't work. So you might have to take this one or this one because I have a question for you in particular.
Yeah, we got questions for you, Marielle.
Yeah. So I love asking subject matter experts questions when we have them. So give it up for Marielle.
Oh, yeah. Hey, you got cool questions?
Well, it's just one
Keep
question.
rolling on. We got 3 mics up here.
Oh, you do? Okay, turn her mic on because that's what I wanted her to be able to.
I'd like to hear more of your questions personally, my friend.
Oh, thanks. Oh, there we are. Well, but then they can't see you behind that speaker.
That's okay.
Okay, because
I
they're
can
listening.
see everybody.
That's what matters.
She got the wire free. She can move around.
Okay, so Marielle, look, here's a question.
Look
that
at
I
her.
have. Oh,
Look at her, everybody.
I should look. I'm looking as well. Hi.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Putting you on blast. This is what I do. So, and I'm sure you're super okay with that. So, here's a question. So, we were talking about the importance of like gatherings like this, in respect and celebration of the garden and the plants and the growth that we're able to be a part of and to curate. Right. I learned something about the science of music and how that impacts growth, right? And specifically things like 432 hertz music. Have you heard of that? And that frequency, which is like the frequency that plants love. I knew it. I knew. That's what I said like 2 seconds ago. I was like, I'm sure they're playing in 432 hertz. It sounds like that they're even singing in that frequency. But beyond
That
the
hurts,
science,
man. It hurts.
singing in the garden and just kind of like the science behind those high level things that we're trying to do, the intrinsic value things that we're grasping for that we can bring into tangible reality. How does that like translate to the passion behind farming artists?
Yeah, measure that.
Well, I feel like I don't do a lot of the science behind things, but I know that what it feels like is happening is that there is like the science is going to catch up to what all we're doing, and then the science that's coming out about how sound affects plants. And I think we were planting some seeds, and I was talking about singing to them, and somebody said, there's science behind singing to these seeds, that it's going to help them grow. And so the journey for me with singing to plants, and it's singing to the earth and for the earth is what the biggest thing. And that brings me the most connection. And I just believe in music in gardens, because music is what brings people together. My journey with music, one story that I shared was I was a part of a song circle in 2017, Adam Elfers, and where I got to meet Momo of Kentucky Honey and Marleaf and a bunch of beautiful, beautiful folks that led me to One Earth Collaborative. Was gathering around and doing improv jams. And there is nothing better than a good improv jam, musicians. And there's a spirit that comes alive, and you feel like you're at church or something. You feel that moment when it syncs up.
Or something.
And so the world right now needs some syncing up, needs hope, needs the things that bring us to life. And so that is that mission. And then with the gardens, they give me so much hope and so much love that the vision specifically for this last year, we did a thing called Earth Church. Okay. So on a lot of Sundays we got together in the center where we had a center fire in the garden, and our gardens in these circles, which the other day I called them pews. Okay. So you sit down and we just sing songs and set intentions, and it's just it garners community, and the power of being in gardens with others and joining our voices together, I believe, will be the thing that heals the world.
Oh my goodness, bless! Thank you. That was awesome. The one question I'll ask you before you go is, if you were in your growing season as a seed, right? What phase would you be in your season right now of growth?
I feel like I would be a sprout that is growing. I feel like I've just gotten my first leaflet. Right? You got the cotyledons that come out. And then you have the first true leaf that signifies who you are. And I think that I am in that space where I'm ready to continue growing this movement and this music and this message. And so, yeah, that's what I would be.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Love that. We love that so much, Marielle. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks, elves. The elves, they love Marielle and the flowers for sure. So yeah, I'm waiting. I'm waiting for Connor. Connor's got some cacao. I know Connor's he's sharing it over here in the kids' garden. What's up, kids?
Hey, the cacao is kicking.
And something I wanted to share with you, though, just on the whole science connecting up with and catching up with things like biodynamics. We were doing biodynamic preps, right? You savvy?
Yeah.
All right. So 100 years ago, biodynamics was woo-woo. Okay. But somehow in the last 30 years, people have been going microscopic and studying microbials, like inside of our guts, inside the soil, a lot more. And they're finding out all this woo-woo.
Define woo-woo.
Whoa.
Define woo-woo.
Woo-woo, it's like something that people in the scientific community might be like, oh, that's just speculation. You're making this up. Like, I mean, they were doing things like putting certain herbs mixed with certain cow manures into cow horns, and you bury it on the moon and all these things. It sounds like woo-woo. It sounds like some
on
woo-woo.
The moon, that's impressive. You know what I'm saying? You got to go back and get it.
Some of them are on the equinoxes.
After
he
years.
said on the moon, like, yeah, dude, like, you didn't know we've been there since '69, man.
I am aware, allegedly.
Where do you think cheese first came from?
Exactly. Where do you think that mushrooms came from? If we want to be talking for real,
Oh, for real, dude, they come from outer space. I get deep on that one.
The fungus among us.
We are in outer space. This is our one Earth collaborating to just hyperdrive through outer space. Isn't it amazing we don't fall off?
So by biodynamics, are we talking about the use of the manure, or are we talking about the mixture of the manure into further intentionalities of the bearing and the horn and the astrological alignment with the activities to prepare this what we were splashing on and the prep. So is that what you're talking about? Because the soil management best practices lists the number one strategy for soil management is introducing organic matter. That's the number one best thing to do. And that is, when I was talking to my cool friend right here named Echo. I was talking to Echo when I just got here about the soil management best practices, and I was like, organic matter, embrace the stinky stuff. Make sure that you are, introducing organic matter, keeping it fresh. But at the same time, as I said that, Brandon started talking about mixing the poop or the doo-doo. No, the cow poop. Was it poop? Did he say poop?
He didn't say what kind, actually. Now that I think about it.
Magic poop.
He said it's magic poop, so it's
Brandon.
from fairies and elves.
Hey,
that
Brandon.
have locally harvested fairy and elf poop.
Fine.
Yeah, on the moon.
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 So,
I love that.
All I'm saying that is, in theory, right, biodynamics is definitely the number one thing to do, because the number one thing to do is introduce organic matter to the soil. So obviously, if you make it even more intentional, it just gets to be even more better. Because more better is definitely
just checking in with the number one thing. Number one, you got to tune into the place around you. Like, we think we're stewarding the land, right? But it's actually stewarding us.
Yep.
It'll tell us what's number one. See, to catch with biodynamics, it's another one of these Eurocentric things. So all these herb preparations come from herbs found in Europe.
Yeah.
Now you go and take biodynamics down to South America.
Okay.
You don't have those herbs there, and people are shipping them in to do a biodynamic prep. Doesn't quite make as much sense as figuring out what you mentioned, pattern, organic matter.
Correct.
But now we're looking at patterns. All right. So you got like silica-rich plant, like horsetail, used as a preparation plant. Now you go to South America, you're going to want to try to connect and find something that has that similar pattern,
right,
so that you can get that matter, and then you can put that together and you got a batter.
Pattern, matter, batter.
Bang. Matter comes from the word mother. Pattern comes from the word father.
Okay.
Batter comes from just another word that rhymes with those two.
Okay. Hey, and speaking of those patterns, the one thing I would add is that you are 100% right. The soil profile of soil in the States is not going to be the same as the soil in South America, nor is it going to be the same as the soil in Africa or in Europe. So the prep for each of those soil profiles is going to differ. And so one of the things that I talk about with the 6 soil management best practice is that you are all and you are one. Right? Because, 6 divided by 6 equals 1, right? And so meaning that in terms of all of those different...
It's right.
I know. It's
That's
like, whoa,
great.
I know. You're all of them and then you're one. Yeah. I could do math sometimes.
That's like, wow.
Yeah. But then when you think about it, meaning
Sexy
that you
talk.
can do all of the best practices in different capacities because you're all of them, or you can just focus on one. And when you're dialing them up and down is like the different soil profiles. That's why you say there's like tropical plants and there's non-tropical plants, and things that grow better in the south and things go better in the north, right? Because the profiles are different. So the preps and the bio, sometimes because I'm not surprised that if it's Eurocentric that it's being now put into a box and trying to be mass produced. That's not how you would do biodynamic, right? You would need to do an intentional biodynamic for the South American soil, same as you would need an intentional dynamic for any soil profile. So that would be my take without knowing too much deeply into biodynamics.
That's cool. I like it. I mean, just even take the word. You said you like words, right? Like you got bio. Did you write your bio? People
I'm
always
living
ask
my
you that,
bio
right?
right
Do you
now.
got a bio?
I'm just living it.
But
right
it means life, right?
now. Exactly. That's why I'm living it.
And give us what's dynamic. Give us what's dynamic mean.
Dynamic. Oh my goodness. Oh, you put me on the spot. Let me think. The dynamic would be, it's, I would say it's characteristic, it can probably be in the word of its description, the thing that makes it unique or makes it stand out. That's usually what the, dynamic would be assigned to. And then dynamo, right, is, big energy. So it's like, again, that thing that really is going to give you that oomph.
Energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
life energy.
So I think that biodynamics is like really making sure that the bio resource is fully optimized with every intention, whether that's through years of, horn burial or through alignment with the stars or with prayers during the prep or with the vortex stir that Brandon was teaching us, whatever it is.
Vortex.
There was a specific way you're supposed to stir the biodynamic, right? I'm just learning. I'm speaking on things I just learned today, right? So
beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, well, I'm not going to talk your ear off, man.
Fresh.
Maybe, I don't know if there's someone else that wants to, jump on the mic,
I mean, I'll step down if you want to. I like how you're rolling, dude. Like I don't need to be on every single one of my episodes, and I've already been in like this one for like 45 minutes, so I'm cool. Like you got great questions. You're coming at this real fresh. Like you're telling me you just heard about biodynamics today.
I mean,
and you're speaking on it like so intelligently.
It's
like
just because
what's
this
up?
is my world. I mean, soil. Like I'm a student of the soil. Soil is my religion. So you can wake me up from my sleep, and I can talk your ear off.
It just
that's
cracks
just,
right open into it. I love that.
Yeah, I think the only other thing outside of this, if I were to have to keep talking, would be to ask us. A question, right? I'm all about friendship and community, so I don't do things alone. But I got you.
You don't have to keep talking, buddy.
I can. I'm good at filibustering.
You signed the contract.
I did.
You did sign the contract.
And now I'm here.
And we are we're full of questions for you.
100%. And I'm here with answers. I got answers for you. I just have a couple questions for the community in terms of like the intention of this space and just, we talked about the 6 soil management best practices. Those are my rubric, they're my compass. I apply them all over my life and into the businesses and, consulting work that I do. I know it makes me sound super ominous. However, the other thing that I think is cool is to ask
the question.
Is to ask the questions of the song that I was singing, which is "Grow." Right. So, what do you need?
Do you think that you could maybe sing a version of that before you step off of here today?
Grow? Oh, 100%. It's a simple song. Yeah. And it goes like this. And I encourage y'all to ask yourself this question or the questions that I'm asking and answer them. Even though I say the seed, the soil, the sunlight, the water, I challenge you to ask yourself, what's my seed? What's my soil? What's my sunlight? And what's my water? So the questions are, what do you need? What do you want? What do you desire? What do you require? You need the seed, you need the soil, you need the sunlight, you need the water if you want to grow. Do you want to grow? Gotta let you know. Feel it in your soul. And then, the little vamp is, na growth I define deep down in my soul, standing in the light, reaching all my goals. So again, the question, right? Blessings, energy. I love it. I just wanted to ask the question because I'm about talking action. Anywhere I go, I don't really like to spend time too much just venting or just in the clouds talk. I like to talk action. So the real application, the magic in the soil is applying it outside from the principle we learned inside, right? So asking yourself, what is your seed? What is your soil? And what is your sunlight? And what is your water? I'll give you an example so that you can answer it for yourselves. And this can even be conversation that can be had, right? If anyone wants to come up and share theirs after, that would be a great kind of rendition. So here's how it would go. So the song that I was telling you about is called Grow. We used it as a seed song. Someone actually called it a seed song today, and I didn't even know that it was a thing. But I call it a seed song because we're putting it into the ground, into the soil of our community and hoping it'll grow. So the song is our seed, okay? The soil is what? The community, okay? The sunlight is the visibility, right? It's that good vitamin D eyeball energy, right? The intentional attention. And then the water is that fuel. In the case of this project, the music video and the song, it's money. You feel me? It's the fuel. It's what's going to push it. What you pour into the project. So our water is the money and the finances and the talent that's coming together to make this whole thing a movement. And when we're able to understand the application of seed, soil, sunlight, water to this project, which is, grow season, we're able to utilize the benefits of that perspective. So if there was someone here, even if it's you next, to talk about your seed, your son, what's your seed, your soil? Someone's coming up here trying to answer the question. I think so. Yeah, no, yes, no, okay. Anyone inspired? What is your seed? What is your soil? Oh, we got Echo. Echo's gonna come and share.
Please share with us. Thank you for stepping
Boom.
up. What is your seed?
Hi, Echo.
Hi, how's it going?
Blessed. So
I'm
what is
blessed
your
too, yeah.
seed?
So I think that my seed starts in me first.
Okay.
It's kindness to me. Because I've learned that if I am unkind to myself, I cannot be present. I can't be authentic. I can't be here in the moment with friends because I don't even know what friend means. Right? Yeah. So that seed of kindness ripples out as you like, what is kind to me? What is kind to me? What is kind to me? Oop, that wasn't it.
Right. You learn along the way, like, I like that.
Yeah,
that's not kind.
That was not as fun as I thought. No, but yeah, so the kindness.
Okay, then what is your soil? What is the soil for kindness?
The soil for kindness?
Yeah.
What's the best soil for kindness?
Yeah, what do you plant kindness in that allows it to germinate and get, take root and grow? How does kindness grow?
So you can do it through a lot of things, but if you start in the center first and ripple out.
Okay.
So our emotions will tell us where we're being kind and where we're not. So if we're kind with ourselves through the process of our emotions, right, as they come through, like, it's okay to be me exactly as I am today. I am changing in every moment, that acceptance. Then we start to be here now, like in the ultimate conditions. Right. That's also like putting that light on that seed, I think, too, though. Yeah. Because it's like, okay, I see you.
That's the sunlight.
Yeah.
Okay. I see that little segue. I like that.
I see you.
Okay.
And then the watering is through the actions, the anchor in that kindness, right? Going, I see you, I'm aware of you, and I'm watering this with love and kindness and going, okay, I'm going to take movement now, and that's that growth. And then as we're moving through our growth, we have those actions as we're watering and taking care of ourselves. I see you, it's okay. Then we start rippling out. And so, like, I'm a musician. Yeah. So my music, it's being kind to me to do it. Yeah. And every time I have a song, it comes through a kindness I'm trying to achieve. Right?
Yeah.
And then when I share it, it ripples out again to give other people permission to be kind. Like, for example, like last night I messed up.
Oh, no.
Totally messed up. I'm a loop artist, multi-instrumental. So I was got the first thing going. I was like, yes.
Echo.
Yeah. Amber, echo. I actually have an echo effect. Yeah, for real. But so I went to do the drum, and it just didn't hit the way I wanted.
No loop.
It didn't. No, it did. It just wasn't. It didn't feel right.
Yeah.
And so this is a moment, right? I could choose to keep going in my discomfort, and everyone's going to feel the discomfort with me. Yes. Or I reflected and I heard the unkind thought of, oh no, you messed up. You. And instead of letting it keep going, I looked at the crowd, I stopped the music, and I looked at them, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to start this again.
I love that.
Because I deserve that.
Fresh.
And then, fresh. And they're all like cheering. And I'm like, just so you know, it doesn't matter what level of achievement you gained or how famous you are, or how many times you've done this. There will always be mistakes. Yeah. And so I was reaffirming that inner child that's on stage, like, oh no, afraid. Maybe this means I'm not enough, like
hide. Let's go hide.
Yeah, but instead of doing that, so because I practiced that kindness in that first stage of addressing my feel, I see you feeling, I see you thought, right? And then I know that everyone's mirroring how I'm feeling. They're looking at me. I'm projecting to them what to feel. So I told them we can believe in ourselves. And so my mistake ended up being the ripple of kindness that gave permission to people to make mistakes and to be kind to themselves through the process. And I literally had like 3 different people come and tell me how that like shifted their life.
Oh, wow.
So like it ripples out. But to me, that's where the seed and the kindness, that's where it starts. Yeah.
Thanks for sharing
that. Yo, thank you. So that was so profound. That was so profound. Like, thank you so much.
I might even loop that in the show, like so we hear it twice.
Oh yeah, you should just put an echo on everything.
A little echo on that one.
And you'll be like, wait, what? If you Amber Echo and
the one thing I can add to that is another thing that I learned from a TED Talk that I watched about facing your fears. As performers, I'm a fellow performer, so I'm leveling with you in that moment when you're on stage and just things are going left and you really feel like there's nothing you can, it just feels really bad, right? It's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Do you know that our moments of the biggest mess up on stage are actually the most impactful moments for our community of fans and followers? And it actually, when we are able as artists and curators to overcome that fear, whether that's through playing through and finding it or being able to be confident enough to stop and say, we're going to start over because I want to give y'all a good show. Anything that we do to face our fear like that, even if it feels uncomfortable to us, we embrace the stinky stuff, right? And guess what?
The stinky's full circle.
Their heart goes out to us.
Yeah.
And we bond with them over that.
Yeah, because they feel a piece
it
of them
humanizes
in you.
us. Yeah.
So it brings you in the present
They can
moment
relate.
too.
Yeah.
It makes it a unique experience that's different than if maybe somebody that saw you perform before, but everybody's having this fresh, I love that word, I keep using it right
fresh.
now. You're having a fresh experience together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You're playing the music and feeling it, and you feel something's not going the direction you want. You take a little bend and, make it the right amount of hertz.
So
that part.
So this actually happened for another person that was here. Okay. It was super cool. His name is Sam Frampton, the one that he made a ping, and that's how you got here.
Yes.
So super cool.
Hey.
Shout out to Sam.
Yeah, he's awesome, childlike wonder galore, and I love it. Yeah. And so he was talking about how his pedal, he has all these cool, he's a loop artist too. And so, but his stuff
he's
is
actually
different.
at a jam session right now.
Yeah, he is.
Literally.
Yeah, he's meeting some cool people right now. But
you're saying I don't know.
Pedal.
I'm not a loop artist. I don't use pedals.
Right.
I got a couple buttons
you're
here
right.
that are cool, but
so
I'm a nature guy. I don't know what you mean.
Of
So you got all these different pedals.
She's
So
about to explain.
For him, he has a different system than me. So what he said was every time I got a denial, I tried to apply to a festival or to something and they said no, I would self-soothe by getting a cooler pedal.
Okay.
To make a cool sound.
Even more impressive.
So did he have a lot of pedals?
He had a lot of pedals on this big board, right? And he was telling me, I was like, wow, that's impressive. That's so cool. And he told me that story about just to feel validated, to feel good enough and worthy enough. And he started to get, accepted, but it's not the pedals, but So what's funny is that it poured rain during his set and and he couldn't use his pedals
because of the electricity.
So he ended up, and the sound was weird. All these weird things happened. And then magic happened. Because he did it anyway without those, and he saw his worth, and he felt it as everyone ran because they were planting over there, and so they were already drenched, and they just finished planting, and so they were so excited, and they ran over, and they were jumping and dancing in front of his set. Everyone in the mud, sliding in the mud, full covered mud people. right?
Yeah.
Like, and you know, his partner was on it. She is so cool. Her name's Marie, and she was over
Shout
here.
out to Marie.
Shout out to Marie. She's brilliant. Also childlike wonder.
You're?
Yes. And so she's over here with her camera, and all I could think is like the amount of like this video of him on stage playing and all these people being like, I don't care if it rains, you know?
Yeah.
So this like
What an
idea,
experience.
am I worthy enough? You know, that's such an unkind thing that we think towards ourselves. But it was like cured for him that like in that moment.
What
It's
a
like you didn't
blessing.
even need all those cool things. It's super cool you can do that, but like the whole universe conspired for this epic moment of mud dance.
Yo.
Yeah, everything was just right.
Yeah.
Yo, that's
And
a
maybe
blessing.
even better.
It was
Yeah.
it was unforgettable.
That's awesome.
Like no one would be able to forget because it was life changing. So I kind of thought
Love
how
that.
like you're like those mess up moments,
Yeah.
you know, the way that you shift through them
Mm-hmm.
is really that.
I think
impact.
that's
where
like,
the magic is.
yeah.
I think that like bringing it into like farms and food kind of combo.
Yeah.
That's like where sauce came from. You know,
They
people like are
messed
like, I
up.
got all these different
Oh,
ingredients. Let's
what
put
do
it
I
in
do?
here. That one didn't taste so good. You know, then finally you're like, I got some sauce. It's good.
This
I'm gonna
is
call
best
it
sauce.
ketchup. I'm gonna catch up with you soon. All right.
Yeah. Well, catch up later.
So, yeah,
You
I
got
don't
a
know.
phone
There's,
call for people who can't see.
it's like making the music like that. You know, it's like all of a sudden you're pulling out the sauce.
Super sauce.
Super sauce.
It's kindness. That's a secret ingredient. But yeah, no, I don't actually know a lot about permaculture, but I do and I don't. But we literally
I bet you do.
had to
I mean,
be
it's like
here.
a lot of
You can ask
people
me.
don't know how much they already know about permaculture, but it's like some people come to me and they'll be like, is lasagna gardening permaculture? Is sheet mulching permaculture? And I'm like, well, it's like if you went up to an artist that paints and you said, is yellow painting? It's not that. It's like you have
like a
this
piece.
whole palette of
It's like a
things
piece.
that you can, you know, choose to design or interact or observe from. And yeah, it's you
That's
know,
super cool
it's
'cause
culture.
I love that. And I like looking at it like art because I have actually seen like a design where they like had like there was an entrance. I think it was called Keyhole Garden.
Okay, yeah.
And so you know,
You're,
of these
yeah, it's
keyhole
got
gardens,
more space for gardens and more efficient. You can reach
And
into the
like
little
the
keyhole, and it's got a
natural
cute name.
mulchers and
It's got a
like,
cute name,
it's a
so you
cute
can remember.
name.
It loops into there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, keyhole.
yeah. And you just, and then you're the key.
Yeah.
You go in it.
Yeah, and it is because you literally walk through the path to go in just that one spot, and I thought that was really cool. I love that because, like, I guess the one I looked at, they had like natural mulching plants on the outside and then the ground cover one. So it's like the idea of the situation would have been that it kind of like takes care of itself as an ecosystem, sort of. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Like, I'm pretty deep in permaculture to the point where there aren't weeds anymore. They're indicator plants. They might be popping up to tell me something about the soil, or they might be popping up to tell me about how there's
That's
not
so
enough mulch,
cool.
or there's some other indication. But it's not like they're there because I don't want them, which I guess is the definition of a weed.
But
It's
I
a plant
find
that you don't
most
want there.
Weeds are medicine. I've recently been reflecting a lot. This last year, I was like, wait, weed. None of these are weeds.
Yeah, I see you're tuning in.
You know?
It's like it's a. I mean, I feel like permaculture again is like a word.
Yeah.
But beyond that, we
very
are
broad.
human animals trying to figure out how to exist on this earth. And I think permaculture was very appealing to me because you're not looking at it like a lot of people study nature like through a petri dish or through a glass, and they're looking like at nature's over there and I'm separate. Where permaculture, I feel like we're throwing ourselves into it. Like, okay,
We're like,
how
we're
do
part of
we
the
exist
mix.
here too? How do we get to be a part of this
How can we not destroy
without
you?
destroying you? It's like, I know we can do it.
Do you need water? Gosh, why is it dying?
How do I understand what you're trying to say to me? What are these languages?
No, it's trying to speak to me.
and then all of a sudden, like, you know, like some kind of
Elves will come along and they'll tell you all kinds of stuff. It's crazy. It just all of a sudden it gets really crystal clear. I mean, let me tell you, Cincinnati, we got an invasive weed called porcelain berry. Yeah, Ande the Elf loves to talk about that. He hasn't done it on the recordings much, so let's see if we can get him to talk about that.
Yeah, okay, I will. So, you know, there's this porcelain berry in the Ohio River Valley area, and it's amazing. I can't find anybody that uses it as a medicine, but if you look into it, it's in the Chinese medicinal texts, which are going back to the BCs. You know, you're talking like thousands of year old textbooks talking about how to use this plant as a medicine, and it showed up here. And it helps out with inflammation. And most people who are interested in herbs are purchasing turmeric or something off the internet to take away the inflammation. But meanwhile, there's all these plants right outside that other people are paying people to come and kill them and, you know, basically genocide, get rid of them. But, you know, the plants are so vigorous and they love us so much. They're going to keep trying to show up and, like, you know, be here for us.
Be a part of your lives.
Yeah. we want to dance to your music while we grow.
Yes.
Like, why are you doing all this hard work? You could be hula hooping and dancing, you know? Like, we'll just grow and we do our things. Like, why are you worrying so much? What are you worrying so much for?
So, I don't know. This is actually super random. It's just going to happen now.
I love rando.
Yeah. So I started to take like freestyle. Like I'll be like, give me 3 words. And someone gave me like jellyfish, stardust, and eggplant.
I love that. It's like, that's 6 words, but they somehow snuck it in.
You're right. Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
People always bend in the rules, right? When you put out some parameters.
That's hilarious because I've been thinking about taking 6 words, actually, because I do 3 too quick, and then it's like, oh no, now I got this whole song going, and it's still fun, but I can't remember 6 words, but apparently I can. Yeah. Just if they're snuck in. But yeah, so I had no idea what to do with the eggplant, you know, in the song because it was like so random, and then I just threw in a loop of like an eggplant. We grow.
Nice.
And it's just like, you know, but I love that because I also feel like it's so cool that they're growing things here, like literally growing things, but they're also growing themselves like together collectively in like a really chill, cool, inclusive way. Like I've never really been in a group of people that was like more balanced in their own like understanding like who they are individually kind of with the openness of like we're definitely human and changing, you know, like
we're figuring this out as we go and we're doing it together.
Flying by the seat of our pants.
I love people here have gone, I mean, in my experience here today anyway, and other times I've been here are talking about ideas. Yeah. Which is really brilliant, you know, and there's like a community working together talking about ideas.
Because people don't talk about their ideas.
A lot of times they talk about each other.
And that's
when there's a group, right? It's like, and you know what
so
Amber said, you know, she said that.
She said, you can believe in yourself and live your dreams.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I believe that.
Yeah.
You're so fun. Yeah, I appreciate you. So,
I appreciate you.
So, like, where did you hail from? Did you come? You live around the area here?
No,
or?
So we travel the whole country in our school bus that we converted.
Okay.
And
are you with the circus?
I'm not, but now I am.
Yeah.
It's so funny these days.
The circus,
I'm not
circus.
really. But we are going to be. They're playing an event, and they asked me to jump in with them, so that's cool.
Really cool.
And we're going to probably be. We've got some similar goals, so we're probably going to land in the same places. But we are self-sufficient ourselves. So it's just like me, my husband, and our 2 kids. We have 3, but our oldest is already like grown, and on his own life path journeys, you know, traveling, you know. But so our two sons, 12 and 9 right now, almost 10, he'll tell you. And so I play music festivals, but I don't play bars. And I don't play any events that don't allow children.
I like that. Yeah.
And I really want the children to be uplifted and focused as a priority, not something to shove to the side. Mm-hmm. Because like I'm just a big old kid, like I just want to be. Like,
they're not just for
fun,
Yeah, they're not just for mining lithium. Or
yeah, I know the child labor is really. Anyways, I'm just kidding. but so like we decided we wanted to help build dreams along the way between events. So we ran into this guy, Moroni.
Yeah.
And Sam Frenton, and they told us about this place and what they were doing, and I was like, that sounds exactly like what we want to be a part of across the country, but we're looking for 5 locations. So this would be the first one we found. And the 5 locations will be...
Clutch.
Yeah, 5 like hand, fingers. You only have 5 fingers. Well, unless you have 6 fingers on your left hand. Or was it right hand? Do you have 6 fingers on your left hand?
I get the
My name is Amigo
finger
Montoya.
discount.
You killed my father.
Yeah, elves only have 12 fingers on each hand.
What? I didn't know that.
But yeah, so 5 locations, and we're going to certify them as eco locations. What that means is the eco family comes there, we help build it, and we believe in it. And if anybody feels like anybody follows us, we would recommend they go to those places and help if they want to.
I love it.
So I've saw this for a while, but I didn't completely see the whole picture. I thought it was festivals. And now we're shifting our gears. It's like we are a part of some festivals, but they're like really cool. And,
like the clutch ones that
like
involve kids and things like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
So I've sifted through what, if I can't stand behind what, a big party, I don't really want to be about, are we going to have a blast? Yes. Are we going to leave like completely inspired to live our dreams even more? Yes. Are we going to make brand new friends that are lifetime ones? Probably yes. Check.
Yeah.
Are we going to pass out drunk? Definitely not.
Can you take your shoes off without stepping on broken bottles?
We literally never wear shoes except for if we're walking in brambles. We have emergency shoes. Yeah. But yeah,
off the path shoes.
Off the path shoes.
Yeah, I used to go a lot more barefoot, but yes, as I was saying earlier, as a young wook, I stepped on a lot of tent stakes and all kinds of things, and
ow, that sucks. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah,
fun.
I take them off at the when I'm in certain places, and I know where I'm going to be cruising around on, and a little bit better, and.
This is a pretty good
to get their toes out.
There's a lot of people here that don't have shoes on. And so everybody's so conscious about picking anything up that they see that's a danger.
Last time I was here, the barefoot farmer was here, Jeff Poppins. I think that's funny. I just had to mention that for the record.
That's funny. Barefoot farmer, is that Tennessee?
Yeah, he's down in Nashville, outside of Nashville, I guess.
So my family's from Tennessee.
Okay.
So I was born in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay. So you probably heard of this guy. He's written articles in the area or something. And
I haven't ever made it out yet, but I kind of I'm going to be honest, I just was let's leave Tennessee. To safer places for if you're any form of counterculture lifestyle, But then it really, we enjoy traveling. It feels like we're shifting through, we're time travelers, shifting through consciousness. If consciousness was time,
in different spaces you go to, there's
spaces, different
ethos. There's I'm fascinated just by the time period when you would travel in this world and you would see different places that have different gods and things like that. That's so fascinating, right? But there are different spirits and entities and energies about different places, and it comes out and through the communities.
For sure, but even nature feels different in different areas. I don't know what's going on in Tennessee too much. I do know that nature feels poisoned, feels sick. the amount of tree foliage and like just non-care of like it's just like houses. And well, around the Nashville, area. I mean, it's a very long state, so like there's like mountains and all kinds of like rural areas, but like where my family is, it's like bloop, 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 yeah, bloop, bloop, bloop. But if you get out into like the redwood forest, on the other side of the,
what would you share with people who may be growing up or living in those situations and they don't know, like, is there a different way? Like, I don't know, sometimes people get into their way of life and like seeing something outside of it is just like, I don't know, like a character in a book or something. And you're like, oh, wow, look, there's real? Country people or something.
Country people over there. Yeehaw.
They got camo on.
Didn't bring that truck down here with you, did you?
I'm going to go identify some car species. That's a Toyota genus.
I think, as far as my understanding goes, like I believe we're all mirrors for each other, reflection, right? So when we see another option, like for example, some people can't see us, right? So, but like I got dreadlocks, I've got white polka dots on my face, and barefooted, and this is just like taking
I'm gonna take your picture.
A photo so you can see.
That was cool.
Yeah, so like this is what I look like every day. I walk into the grocery store this way, my whole family covered in colors.
Magic people. Yeah, I think there's like a special permission slip that some of us get to just be magic people every day, and then some people are like, they just are able to turn it on sometimes.
You have to give it to yourself, because I it's notorious. If I go into a store with someone, like a friend, and they're not used to going into a store with no shoes, right? Someone tells us we have to wear shoes.
No shoes, no
Every
service.
time, that there's a person there, and we actually, we just pull up, like, it's like barefootislegal.com or something, and you can, for all those wanting to be barefoot people, and you can just like scroll through what state you're in and click it, and it just shows like it's explains to them in like the most legal, polite way that it's not okay to discriminate, because it's not legally required. Like, you don't work for them, so they can't just like. Right. And it's kind of silly if you think about it. Like, I'm gonna pick the food up with my toes. Like, no, I'm not.
Like, you're just walking.
Just walking, and I probably washed my feet more than you wash your shoes. But it's like a cultural thing.
Well said. Who washes the inside of their shoes?
The inside, no.
Like, even where you put your foot, it's like, who washes the inside of their shoes?
Well,
maybe your socks.
If they stink,
you wash your socks, your liners.
Yeah, you're right. Your feet coffin liners is what my husband's like, feet coffins.
They're amazing.
But a lot of people don't realize where that came from. Mm-hmm. Why are we telling people they have to wear shoes? And it came from the movement that was happening in like the 60s and the 70s, and even it was like a 30-year period of like, plant medicine was being used a lot more, and like not just that, but also people don't realize like the huge movement that was happening in America before the war on drugs, and before like people were fighting for equality. Like, I want to be treated as an equal. Just because the color of my skin, you're saying I'm not equal, and that's not fair. Of course it's not fair, but that seemed like the next logical step, because the evolution of consciousness was shifting during that time. But it was so fast. We didn't have the internet, we didn't have like multiple ways to share our information. We just had to like do what we're told, and so the counterculture rose up, and the war on drugs came down to target people of color and people who are, the counterculture movement, and people who weren't well off. So they couldn't like when African Americans got the right to like be in a store, as they should have, to be in a store or something, they couldn't say that you can't be here because of like the N-word. They couldn't segregate them on like legally, but what they could say is if you don't have shirt or shoes or, this is my business, so I can decide.
Yeah. Do you think that whole concept, I mean, part of it to me almost comes like shoe companies, maybe they were lobbying for these things. Like, we think everybody should have shoes.
Yeah.
And then eventually got to that point. It's like, I know in Indiana, only like 30% something of the population had electricity by like 1940.
Yeah.
Which isn't that long ago, right?
That's really not that long
It's like
ago.
84 years ago, 1940.
That's
and
crazy.
nowadays, if a person's living without electricity, everybody's like so amazed. Like, how do you do it? How do you do it?
It only took, I heard this, like, it only took 2 generations to, like, get people from, like, growing their own food and being self-sustainable to be completely reliant on this system.
Yeah.
And that's shocking to really think about. Like, what? 2 generations ago?
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, I asked my grandma the other day. She's 40 years older than me, and I have reached level 34. Okay. I'm a leveling up. We're just leveling up,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Level,
just
next
leveling
level.
up. Next level. Challenge accepted. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just opened my 45th, my 45th eye, and you know what's next is my 46th.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go for it.
Next level.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're still happy that you opened your 3rd eye, but wait till you get to your 45th eye. It's cool.
It's the best one yet.
The colors, really cool.
So my grandmother was like, I was like, just wondering, hey, did you have a TV? 40 years older, right? I mean, leveled 40 levels up, right? And she was like, no, like, I didn't have a TV in my house until I was a teenager. And then when we got it, it was black and white, and we could only watch it like a very limited, like, one show, because it was expensive in some kind of way. I'm still trying to figure that out. And
top notch.
Yeah, expensive, yeah. And then also they like knew it was programming. Like, everybody was saying, this is programming.
It's called a program.
Yes, it's called a program.
I mean, we get advertisement and we're okay with it. We get commercials and propaganda. And I mean, look it up. Like, in our country here, the United States, they spend close to $500 billion a year on propaganda to influence and create the thought environment we live in. And
yeah. Well,
brand us.
You know what that makes me think of? I believe that we all have the ability to create our reality. That means, like, we get to decide what life means for us, what has value in our life, what does life mean, right? So with the programming, they're just like, you think life means this.
This is what you should think.
And then you get this, like, hive mind of, like, literally tricking the programmers of reality to program the reality collectively to be, something that is based on consumerism. And we could just, like, instead of being like, those big bad guys,
yeah, it's them.
we could just be like,
It's them. Those bad guys.
bad guys.
Those guys. Yeah.
Yes, my husband said I have food. That's
got
so cool.
food.
Yeah. Instead
Yes.
of being like those big bad guys, maybe, they're just selfish. The need for endless piles of money for self-security, value of worth. And that sucks. But we do still have the power to create our reality and decide what matters to us. And, whatever we put our time into is what we're voting for. So, like, whatever we're watching, whatever we're listening to, if it's helping us be the change we want to experience in the world, that's cool. And I don't mean, like, let's revolt against the, I don't think that it's in my personal belief.
No need. Like, they've tried that before.
Be war at them, like, you suck. And I think that's kind of what happened in the, like, 60s, 70s. They were like, the man, stick it to the man. And it caused, fear and panic. The government's like, dip.
Oh, yeah.
We're
going to set up some cop cities. Tell you.
Like, you can't tell us what you can do.
I think there's, like, a concept I think about is the difference of paying attention and investing attention.
Yeah.
And there's a difference. Like, when you pay attention, it's like, you're doing like.
Well, that's like an
You're not
assessment.
even like thinking about it. You're just like, here you go. Okay, there's the toll. Okay, can I go now?
Oh,
When you're investing it, it's like, yeah, I like what you're saying. I'm gonna
I'm gonna
throw,
spend, I'm gonna
throw
spend
more of my
time-
attention over there.
I'm gonna spend time getting to know this.
Yeah.
But it's
So
also
what's
true
alluring? What's
what?
alluring? Like
Yeah,
what's going to
what's
allure us? Like
Yeah.
I've been talking to people about permaculture and good food from the gardens, and they
Yeah.
tell me they want to eat donuts still. What do you do? What do you do?
Then
I love donuts still too. I mean, I can't help it. I
Well-
mean, like a nice fresh donut from an artisanal donut. That's not a cake donut. I don't like the cake donuts.
I mean-
just give me cake. But, I mean, make a
could,
donut
like,
a donut.
You could go total say you're in love with donuts, right? If you wanted to, and you're like, I've got to keep my authenticity still. How do I do this? Like,
I think if you plant Cheerios and then you fertilize them with a little sugar water, they'll grow into donuts. I'm gonna try it.
Of course, that's a great solution.
I've heard that. So I've never tried it.
Yeah. But I mean, I think like realistically though, like we can't really change anyone else,
Yeah, I mean,
but we can change us. We can shift our focus and what's important to us. And I think through that ripple of authenticity and what you're doing, people want to be authentic. They just don't know how.
I think sometimes that's so. I got on this loop where talk about loops. I was like, I want to just be myself. Yeah, I'm just gonna be myself. And then sometimes, like this person walked by with a shirt on that said, "Don't be yourself," and it hit me. I was just like, okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm not gonna be myself. I'm just gonna be. And then
Just
all of a sudden, it was
existing.
easy to just be myself.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's weird. That's like psychology we give
just
to
like a
ourselves and flips us around.
That's cool.
Oh, man. I love talking with you,
yeah,
Amber
for sure.
Echo.
Actually, my dinner's ready.
Yeah, we should probably go catch some dinner.
I'm so
There's a
hungry and
wonderful
grateful.
potluck going on here. We're gonna go. We got a few people on here from this event. Some fresh, perspectives and tales of the
so
One Earth
cool.
Collaborative. Appreciate you so much. Let's all give it up for Amber Echo.
Until next time.
Yeah.
I love you all. I hope maybe you can check out the One Earth Collaborative. Maybe check out some of their events. Maybe you can plant some gardens with these wonderful people. Or make some music with them. Maybe sing a few bars. Sing a few lines. You can do whatever you want. It's good times here. We're gonna go join the potluck. We're gonna eat some food. Maybe do a little dancing. Just do what you do. Have a good time. Try to be kind.
Yeah, be really nice to each other. Give each other lots of hugs. Give each other space. It's a lot of time for holding and letting go and 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 oh, I hit a loop.
Hold and let go again. Here we go. Farm up. Farm up.
May the flowers rise like dew. Soak in the morning sun, the light. And may they heal the hearts within you that need love. I need love, 'cause we are the flowers, and we have the power to spiral the sequence. What can we bloom when we tune to the beauty inside of you? The earth, we're talking to you, and we are planting the seeds we know we can do when we take the time to be with our friends in the garden and sing in the sunshine. You are so beautiful. You are so powerful. Thank you for your baby. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for the gifts you bring. They inspire me. Thank you they inspire me to Thank you for this moment. Thank you for the gifts you bring. They inspire me to sing. Inspire me to sing. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this moment. Love you, Matt. Thank you for the gifts you bring. They inspire me to sing. Inspire me to sing. Inspire me to sing. Inspiring 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 to sing. Spiraling to sing. What is day? Thank you for this moment. Thank you for the gifts you bring. They inspire me to sing. Inspire me to sing. One of the
Out here.
Yeah, we got a car stuck, so we're gonna have to push it. You don't know? All right, thank you. Leveling it up, leveling up. Is that a little bit more tone? You can hear the voice better? Yeah, we got a car over here that needs pushing. Yeah, we need some help pushing. You know, with the push. That's right. Yeah, we're recording now, so, I wanted to check it out. The farm up.